Welcome again to the Sprunk Xtreme 1 Cup. I am your host, VIPPrimo, and here we are at the Atomic Super Speedway. Crimmins is best with a all-star field of racers. You're going to see some duplicate cars today because some guys didn't have hot ring sabers, and we wanted to make sure that they had hot ring sabers because that's just the kind of guys we are. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. There wasn't a televised Sprunk for last week. We didn't have enough players for it, and I did not have a voice. So I decided to kind of turn things off for that week just to skip over to this week. Now here we are. We're ready to go. We're going to do 20 quick laps. It's about 33 seconds a lap for these guys. Plus with Slipstream on, things can get heated pretty quickly. Looks like Agent already has a buddy here with Giant. I'm going to drop back to Ricky. Wow, it only dropped back 5 feet and has to load. That's pretty intense. And so here's Ricky with SAS Montana moving up the pack here. There's a little rubbing there. It's okay, rubbing's racing. Works for everybody. There's Agent and Giant up there. They're doing their thing. Jack had a pretty fast lap, but in the same respect, they had everything was within a second, probably 5 thousandths of a second. I mean, 5 tenths of a second at most. So it was definitely going to be competitive, and with Slipstream on, these guys are going to be able to whip themselves around corners. This is a all-out track. You just basically put the trigger down and go full speed. That being said, there is a lot to say about teamwork and how you play the difference in it. Let's look at what we have here. Oh, Giant with the best lap, 3:05. You can see here things are 37 seconds with a fast lap. See what we had at qualifying time. What the qualifying best lap was. So the fastest lap was a 37.605. So we improved on that from the qualifying they did not have. And we definitely did with Giant with the 37.305 taking the lead away. There's SAS rolling low. Jack once again entered in first. I'm going to move up to those guys because that's the group you want to see. Jack, Giant, and who's Agent Ranger. This is already getting nail biting and knuckle crunching, and we're gonna split 3 wide as they come high. It's a thunderous race, but one of the best tracks I've ever seen for this kind of racing, especially if you want to see people that just, it doesn't take a lot of high-end skill to be fast when it comes to slipstream racing and going around a track like this. It really just takes some good tactics. Ooh, look at this, man. People going for some blood here. What do we got for Agent now with the higher 37, about ready to go for 36, but we just saw, 36.06, 0.71 from Jack. This is a battle of attrition. There's a low end as Jack dives in. Agent really is a little bit off the pace here, but he gets a good run on everybody. Whew. And just Jack's dominance here, but this group is tight, and the second pack over there is not having much luck catching up with them. And I mean, is there any wonder why? I mean, they're just crushingly going in with each other. Jack's got the dominance of the car, but Giant just won't let it go and is making up for it on the slipstream. And that's really the trick here. If you're not the fastest car, just get that slipstream run and try to make some ballast work. So there's Giant. Giant was talking about which is the better track for this. Everybody loves this track. And that's the thing is I'm okay with sticking with it for, if we do a 6-7 race series. There's some other tracks of this that I like to use or be consistent with. So we'll pick some that are predominant. This is actually probably going to be the last for the Sprunk series that we see for a little bit. Atomic has been handed over to Ricky Bobby. So that's going to be on Saturdays. Ricky streams all his stuff and streams these races. So you can see these races and see everything as it live as it happens. Streaming has been something I've been trying to work on, but in the same respect that it probably will not be with this. I get a lot more reception from my Gears of War videos than I do for my GTA videos. I really just do these for fun, which is what I love. You see me doing these all the time, and the reason I do them all the time is because I love hosting them, and I really do enjoy playing with these guys, and that's really the goal of every type of race. Like, I'm not doing this to get any kind of money or anything. Just I like hosting them and putting them together and getting a lot of enjoy. I like here when everybody's like, especially with this one, everybody's happy about racing and how tight it is. And these 20 laps, they go by fast when you're vested in the race, and that's really what I do it for. So there's probably I get about 20-30 views for these videos, and I could care less the amount because it's all just so much fun to watch these guys come in here and get heated. The only thing that I see that's a bummer about it is that usually one of the reasons why we're going to try to drop back and think reapproach this later better. And definitely have a solid set of tracks that we use this on, is because we get a lot of fall off between the races. Between one race we'll have 9 or 10 races, and all of a sudden we drop back to this, and this is the one that needs to have a full room. I have 30 racers. I'd like to have it where it's like just people are disconnecting. That's how they're moving out of the room, and so having the drop off doesn't help when it comes to this series. And I really don't want to move it forward because I think that's going to end up hurting it too. So that's the thing is again, the goal is just to have fun with it and play with it. And if you guys see it and enjoy it, that's all the benefit for everybody involved. So like if you're interested in rolling with this or want to do with the Sprunk again, let me know. Send me a message. A couple people have sent us messages, said they're interested in playing it, and I love having new players come in and play. And it's just something that works for everybody. So we'll just really get a better time for this. In the meantime, it'll be great to have Atomic World Challenge back and run a couple of races with that and get something definitive with their series that will be able to give us 2 series that are solid, strong, and will be fun to play until we can move back to getting the Sprunk races done and competitive again and having a lot of fun with it. I think it's funny that how far we've actually come, because the first tracks that we had in custom were literally like these corner things that we didn't have walls like this. We had nothing, and it was on the Los Santos airport area, and you get in the corners and there was no smoothness. It was like as you went around the corners, but slipstream was that's all you had. And we had Sprunk Buffaloes, and I didn't even know, actually we didn't even have Sprunk Buffaloes. We started with straight Buffaloes, thankfully right after the Sprunk Buffaloes came out, which was great because then I think you could get one for free. And then that way we could actually have real competitive races with different colors. And now with the Hot Ring Saber, it's just been amazing because now we have, real cars, people with numbers. The only trick I've had to have is getting people to spend the $900,000 or whatever it is to buy their Hot Ring Saber, so they can have a track car and not have to borrow one from anybody else, and then you have, solid numbers. This Giant is actually in a borrowed borrowed race car there. I forget which one was, what series he had. But number 5 there. I just would love to see this with like a multitude of cars back there and just seeing people trying to figure out how not to crash. There's just something different about this race than any other race that we do. And it's very archaic at the same time. It's archaic fun. I would love to see if these guys could catch up in the back. They're already saying they're having a tough time. Let's see how far off they're. So this basically just 2-3 packs. They're way off the pace, but the 36.9, 37 of Giant, and with 1 lap to go, they're not gonna be able to do it. And it looks like they're hung out to dry. And like I said, that really is. It's just we need a pack of cars, so everybody always has somebody to draft with. And we have done that before. We have been able to have groups of, but before we recorded these, we had groups of up to, I think it was 26 or 27. I think it was 27. The 27 racers racing, and back at the time was an archaic, really bad track, and now it's like we have the stunt stuff, and we finally get the Atomic Super Speedway thanks to Crimmins, and we want to make more of it. There's Andrew, and here comes the trick. This is not, Jack does not want, wow, and there it is for the finish. Jack pulling into the lead here, and he pulls it out. Look at that. Well done from Jack. So move over to SAS. I think we'll make it back to SAS before he finishes. And that's how it's going to end there. Wow, as the last race, that was amazing. Right up to the wire, the top 3 guys. Thank you guys for tuning into this. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, this is not over. We have a lot more races to come, including the Pendulous, Morphicar, Sport GT, and the Atomic World Challenge. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.